Hiya! As you've probably seen, my husband makes a lot of these survival videos. So we're here today as a family, kids, dogs and all, in a forest in England in the middle of winter. And my husband's really big into survival and skills and things like that, isn't he? Yeah. But I'm not. I worked in a pub once and we had real fires and I didn't even know how to light one of those, and that was with kindling, a lighter, paper and wood. And even my manager was appalled that somebody with my husband's kind of background, and I didn't know how to light the fire. But my answer was, well, why did I need to learn when he can do it all? So, which is quite, yeah, it's not very good. So today is a challenge for me. He said to me, if you can teach me, then you can teach anybody, because I am very Billy Basics. I'd be the one that put wet wood on a fire to put it out, or I'd pick somewhere too near a stream to build a shelter and end up getting flooded out during the night. So today we're here as a family and Richard's going to teach me some of the basics. So far I know that I've got to pick some trees. He's gave me a situation, he's dropped me in the middle here. What would be my first port of call? So of course I said protection. Would you agree, Andrew? Mm-hmm. So this is our mission. So at the moment, instead of talking, I should be looking. So let's get on with this. Right, so we've done a wee bit of wandering and we found the kind of outskirts. As you can see, there's a wee boy on his bike there. So we found the outskirts of the forest. This is important for survival. So you've got a location if you're being rescued. Also, it's if you are surviving and there's no sign of any rescue, at least it gives you that little bit of distinction about where you are so you can find your way back to the shelter. So we are still, I'm trying to find the perfect spot just to prove my husband wrong and that I have actually been listening to him all these years. I might not know the lingo, but I'm hoping that I can prove him wrong and show that I can find a perfect bit of shelter for myself if I was ever stuck, or for the family. I could help him if we were ever in dire needs of having to survive in the wilderness or forests, or yeah. So let's get going with this. So we think we found the perfect spot, don't we hope?
Yeah!
Right, so what I would do here is we've got two sturdy trees right here.
You might
Which
want
would
to
be
lay
perfect.
down.
The only thing that's the only thing that is this tree stub here, but that's easily fixed, especially if we're going to build a lean-to, because obviously you lifted off the ground anyway slightly. So what I would do here is I would get my daughter to stop doing that and destroying the forest, and I would lie down as so, just to make sure that my body is long enough to take my body. So my husband better love me for this, because he knows that I hate stuff like this. Right, move Koda. So as you can see, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. So I think this is where we're going to start building our shelter. Hope, you know, I said about you destroying the forest. Well, it wasn't really, but we were just trying to save this bit. So mind what you were doing a minute ago and you were kicking?
Yeah.
So what we would need to do is kick that away so that we've got a nice flat ground. Do you think you can do it? Use your feet, be strong. Andrew, do you want to pop in and help your sister there? We've got a very grumpy 17-year-old that's very happy about being here today with us. Ah, there you go. Right, so now we need to move it all a bit. Let's try and clear the area a little bit. Well done. Excellent. So that if we wanted to build an A-frame and the first shelter that I was talking about, lean-to, then at least we've got the option to do both now. So let's give it a clear away. So as you can see, try to get this ground a wee bit flatter. We've made sure there's no lumpy bumpy bits, well, as much as we can, because obviously you can see it's on a bit of a slant, but no survival situation is ever going to be perfect. You're not going to get the perfect ground, perfect flatness, are you? So we've just checked, so we do this to check, make sure there's no snakes or anything that could be quite dangerous towards us in the ground or in the area. So I think we're ready to focus on our next stage. So I think I found myself a pretty good crossbar. It's got to be live. So if you can just put the camera up there, you can see all the buds that are on the top. This shows that this tree is still live, and it needs to be live because of all the weight, the excess weight it is actually going to have put on it. Right, so I'm wanting this lovely piece of wood to fall backwards so it's safe, so it's not affecting me or anywhere else in this area. So what I've done is, Sandra, if you want to come round, I've already sawed quite a big notch there, right there out, and it's quite a big chunk, as you can see, ready so that when it falls it'll be easier to fall. So now I'm going to sugar. Right, so you've got to put this is all about safety as well, mind. So this is so my lovely husband is now going to help me just put some weight on it, because like I said, I have no experience with this and I have no strength at all. So what I'm going to do is slightly just get the saw in, and it goes down at an angle again. Get a cleaner cut if you go use the whole saw. As you can see, what I was doing before was just trying to get the blade into the tree. So what I'm trying to do, I'm doing this at an angle to try and meet the notch at the back. So as you can see, instead of going straight across, it's going down, because it's going to go down and meet this. And yeah, I have started a little bit further up, probably further up than what I should have started, to be honest. But this is my first time. I am a tree virgin. So we'll just continue sawing. God, this is hard work. And this is why. Okay, nearly there. Nearly there. Thank goodness this video can get edited today. Or else we might find ourselves here all day. Right, so you can see it's a nice clean cut, and with just a couple of little more saws, that should be it coming down. Right, so I was initially shocked. You don't realise how big trees are until obviously you cut one down for the first time, so it's pretty big and felt quite sad actually, but I've been assured that it will grow back. Obviously my dog is shedding some tears there as well, but anyway, in the meantime I went and I found myself a wee stick. So this is to measure the crossbar of what we're going to be cutting off that tree. So as you can see, it just about fits. So if you can get something like this to measure, it kind of gives you an idea of how much you probably need from your crossbar. So what we'll do is we'll put this on here and just measure it. And then right here, what we've done is I'd like to take credit for being able to lift this big hunk of wood, but as a family we lifted it and we have placed it as so that when we are sawing, as you can see where we're going to mark it, we've already marked to where we're going to saw it, the blade doesn't touch the ground, so it makes it a little bit safer and a hell of a lot easier, because then you're not wrestling with the blade in the ground. So my husband is now going to pass over his prized possession, and I have now been taught how to use this properly. So hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be able to sort this bad boy.
I know it's from me. That's my daddy's Christmas present from me.
Right, there you go. Nice clean cut, and my husband will be very proud because I have used the blade properly this time. Okay, that is the smaller version, isn't it? Well done, baby. See, you're learning as well. So now we have the smaller version of the bigger version that we were just using, and this is just to take the excess little branches off. I would always, personally, I would cut away from yourself because this is how accidents happen, or cut down the way. As you can see, I'm nowhere near this.
Your hand is.
My hand is, wasn't it? But it wasn't anywhere near the blade. And
You
then,
always have to use your hand to cut things.
just to get these excess spurs away from us.
Or you can snap them off with your feet. You can either cut it or snap it off with your feet.
Yes. Okay. So now we have heated this up, and this is now going to be a post for our line too. So now we've just got to take a wee wander with your doggies through the forest. As you can see, one's trying to go to find two supports which be in the shape of an A. Right, now we can put it down, baby. Okay. I've got my lean-to beam at the front, and we've now got a backstop as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we're still on the lookout for some support beams. It'll all become apparent, because believe me, I asked, but now I'm getting the idea of it. So this is going to be our backstop where the shelter stops. This is the front, so we've got to find two supports to go there so that we can build our shelter. If we've not got paracord, then we need to look for natural cordage. So the best thing is to look for a tree. Take yourself a stick, which we've got, try to clear a bit of a pathway. Oh, oops, use this side. And then what we've got to do is
Find some roots.
dig and find some
Roots.
Sorry, pal, if I'm getting you that. Oh, some roots, and as you can see, this, it's got perfect roots right here, and this is what we can use. This here is what we can use to help tie our frame together.
You can't snap it. You have to keep following it.
Right, excellent. Which can be very, very hard work. As Mummy's finding out today. But yeah, so now you can see we've done a kind of like 180. So I am standing at the front of what's going to be my shelter, and we've got the two crossbars on. Obviously we've showed you how to get, if you've not got paracord, how to look for roots to try and find ways of tying your shelter together. So the next bit is putting this bad boy on right here. So right, so like I said, we have got paracords today, but if you are limited with your paracord, you need to remember that inside the paracord, pull down, that gives you, so here we've got inside our paracord, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strands plus the 8th, which is the strand holding it all together. And just to get it back in, what we do is grab it from the other end. But that is obviously, if you're limited, it's like a wee magic trick. I'm actually enjoying myself today, learning some skills that I never thought I'd learn. Been making my husband so proud. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the paracord and use it to start tying our support posts together. So now I've got my bit of paracord, and now what we want to do is make a loop. So obviously I've taken the inside of the paracord out, so I've got myself a loop right there. Maybe not as big as that. There you go, excellent. And then what you want to do is tie it round your fingers a couple of times to create a knot. As you can see, I'm not very expertise in this field. There you go, excellent. So that will create quite a stiff knot. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this round the first beam. Then what you're going to do is we're going to go down, round the tray. Oops, that's too high up. And just go up, round, over, and under, like that. Or another alternative way is to obviously get your loop again. Oh gosh. Get your loop, put it on, tie it around the tray once, tie it around the tray, and then go around the tree one more time, and then you go under, then over, and then up, back round, and this is where you make the knot here. So we've got a knot, so we need to get a knot. So what we need to do is create a loop and wrap it round your fingers. Oops. And this is why I'm not a survival guide. Oh. I can't fuck it. So we're now going to do our purchase knot. Right, okay. So we're going to get a loop. We're going to go anti-clockwise around your fingers, then get the loop bit and put it through to secure a knot. There you go. And believe me, that took me more than one take. A purchase knot is not as, pun, boom, is not as easy as what you actually think. So I definitely find that one a little bit hard. Got your knot, your purchase knot. What you do is you get the rest of your string, paracord, and tie it round the trunk like so. Pull it so it goes tight, pinch this bit, and now this is really important to remember. You get this and you actually put it round that bit of the paracord, and then all you do is you go again. Oops. Right, so now we've got a paracord on both ends. Dos. We are now going to look for some ridge posts. So this is where forest comes in handy, because there should be plenty of these lying about. And then what we're going to do, as you can see, we've put this in place, and we've now got to cut it. So I will just get my trusty saw from my glamorous assistant, and you're going to cut about here, right about here. And you're going to saw all the way through. Using the full blades. There you go, nice clean cut. Get rid of these little bits here. There you go. And we're just going to do the same all along. So even if they are a little bit big, you can just see that I snapped that bit there, and that come off quite cleanly. Sometimes when you're out in the forest or woods or in survival, you need to be careful with the wood that you're picking, because some of it is rotten. You'll know, I've picked up lots of numerous bits today that are rotten. And yeah, so this is where we go on a scavenger hunt to find some more ridge bars. So now, voila, we've got our support beams, and then we've got a back as well. So me and my beautiful little assistant, my little girl, has been going round the woods trying to hunt some of these down. So what we're going to do is we're going to weave them in and out the back. You can see we've already started with one, so it's just to create some kind of backbone. So we're going to go under, over, oops, under. You've got to be really careful. Like I said, the wood in this wood is quite damaged, it's quite rotten, and isn't that great, so you've got to be really careful. But since we're on a time frame today, because we're going into not only a new year this evening, but a new decade, we've got to roughly do this just to try to show you exactly what it's all about. Right, that done. What we've done is we've added some more sticks so that when we add the foliage it's going to be able to grip a little bit better to our shelter. So, as you can see, we put moss on it, maybe halfway up. This is to create a thermal layer. Now, if you wanted to, you could do the whole lot, put the moss up right to the top. But what we would do now is actually get a waterproof cover and cover this up, and then just to add to it after the waterproof cover has then went on, get some more sticks to try and hold the waterproof layer in place. And that, I'm quite pleased actually, is the first time. It might look messy, it may not be perfect, it's a little bit like me, but I'm pretty pleased with it actually. I've actually listened to my husband and built something that I'd quite happily sleep
I
in
listened to my dad.
tonight. So awesome, thank you very much, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the survival kit.